Gives me the perfect excuse to call all ranking station personnel for an atherogenic factor profile. People don't eat right. They skip meals, eat strange things at odd hours. I mean, someone has to look after your health.
Okay, fine. Diet.
No. Food plan.
Got it.
Mr. Garibaldi, you'll be needing these. And Mr. Garibaldi, I will be monitoring you closely.
Narn and Centauri were at each other's throats. The Vorlons had some kind of an agenda that no one can understand. The Minbari leadership hated me immediately and unconditionally. And Ambassador Delenn was hibernating in some kind of a cocoon. And that was just the end of the first day.
So, are you handling it?
One day at a time.
I always figured we'd be having this drink out on the rim somewhere. You always said you wanted an explorer ship.
Yeah, well, when the president calls, it's kind of hard to say no.
Funny he should pick someone that the Minbari don't particularly like.
Well, I try to accord them every courtesy so they can't complain. Not too much, anyway.
What about you, Johnny? This isn't exactly what you trained for. It's not really what you wanted.
Jack, I can make a difference here. It's important.
I suppose. I just never figured that a die-hard spacer like you would wind up tied to a desk.
Well, it's a hell of a desk to be tied to. To a good visit on Babylon 5.
Babylon 5.
The Glory Shop, the Green Tiger, Finagle's place, they've all filed written complaints, and the cart vendors have been bending my ear about it every time I walk through the Zocalo.
So what are you doing about it?
We're running checks on the security system videos in the stores to see if we can pick up any familiar faces. I've doubled the Zocalo watch in the rush hours, but hasn't helped so far.
Sounds like a petty shoplifting wave, Mr. Garibaldi. Surely you can handle it.
Yes, I can, but I just thought you'd want to be informed.
I appreciate that, but it's your job. I'll expect a full report when you've apprehended the thieves, understood?
But I thought you wanted to know everything that went on in the station.
Everything important, Mr. Garibaldi. I expect you to handle the details in terms of security.
Yes, sir.
But I'd rather hear your stories. I mean, you gotta remember, I hear the same ones over and over again for years on my ship. The only relief I get is when we make a supply stop.
Yeah, but your stories are much more interesting.
Not necessarily. Well, there was that time that you took leave on Mars and that dancer, as I recall.
Captain Sheridan,
Yes, Captain Maynard.
July 12th, 2253.
Oh?
Forget I said anything.
So where are you headed next, Captain?
Back out to the rim. The new rim. Now that we've finished mapping Sector 900, we're hoping to build 2 new jump gates by the end of the year, and then have Earth follow up with survey ships.
Captain, you've done a lot more traveling in hyperspace than just about anybody else here. Is there any truth to the stories?
What stories? Well, you know, things happen out there. People see weird things. Universe Today had a story a couple of months ago asking if something was living in hyperspace.
Nothing can live in hyperspace.
Well, what do you say, Captain?
Well, living, I don't know about that, Lieutenant. But there's something out there. I think it's stranger than any one of us can imagine.
Were you serious when you said something was out there in hyperspace?
Serious? What do you mean?
You weren't just yanking their chains a little, building up a story to tweak their imaginations?
No. I saw something once.
Go on.
Well, it wasn't in hyperspace, though. But you know, things can get kind of weird out on the rim, too. It's funny, you never know what you're going to find when you look over the edge of what's known and into what's not. We were in Sector 857. I took my nav officer, Lieutenant Patrick, with me for a look around on one of our scout ships.
And?
Well, I noticed that we'd gotten out of sight of the Cortez, and I was just about ready to turn back when I saw something. It was maybe 1,000 kilometers away, black against space. Now, the reason that I know it was there is that it blotted out the stars behind it. I don't know the exact shape of it, but it was big. I turned to Pat to ask him if he could see it,